We're excited to finish the season strong with 2 wins. And, now as we head to the ACC tournament, been good to get the players a couple of days off. And, obviously we don't have an opponent yet. So it's hard to talk about who will play. But we have a lot of things that we've wanted to clean up on both ends. And so we've been working on that. And obviously it's a short trip over there. So it's not much of a trip at all for us. Greensboro just being 45 minutes away. It's a nice, easy trip for us.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go ahead and open up for questions. Lucy, we'll start with you.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for being here today. I just wanted to start with asking for a statement about Toby being named ACC Freshman of the Year and what your thoughts are about that and her impact on the team this year.
Thought it was well deserved. I thought she earned it. I thought she was the best freshman in the league. Um, through the course of the schedule, and she impacted our team in a big way. I think she led all freshmen in scoring, rebounding, blocks, field goal percentage. I mean, it was pretty much you know, an easy choice, I think. And then defensively, she's a player that different games was called upon to switch for us. She's really versatile defensively. She can switch on the guards and guard them. She can, hold her own against some of the top post players in the league, as she did the last week of the season defensively. So she's got a lot of responsibilities for us on both ends, and I think she continued to grow through the course of the season and finished the season playing her best basketball. So that's what you want from your freshman. You know that a freshman year is going to be up and down regardless. They're going to have some games they struggle. They're going to have some games they play really well. But what you're really hoping for is they're trending upward as you head into the postseason. And I think Toby is doing that.
Coach. Yeah, just kind of going off that conference awards. Could you just talk about Jaden being named to the All Defensive Team and Ash getting a spot on the All Conference second team? Just what their contributions have meant to the team this year.
Yeah, I think Jaden's the most versatile defender in the league. And she's able to play all five positions for us defensively. She's able to switch. Case in point, um, last couple games of the season. I mean, in the Florida State game, she's playing the nation's leading scorer majority of the game, and the game before that, she's playing everybody else. She's played post, she's played point guards. We can put her on anybody, and she can have a great deal of success. So she's definitely one of the keys to our defense. Her versatility and her intellect makes us a great team, and then her ability to impact the game with blocking shots, with getting steals. She just does a lot of things on that end that make her really, really good. And Ashlyn had a overall consistent year for us. You look at her ability to shoot the three, you look at her ability to lead us. She's definitely our vocal leader out on the court. So it was nice to see her get recognized in that way.
Arian, over to you.
How you doing, Carl? How you doing today from DH Impact Media? My question for you, if you can hear me here, my question for you is: how does playing in a high stakes of environment of the ACC tournament prepare you and your team the potential for the NCAA tournament? What would be your best bet there?
I think anytime you get a chance to play against high quality opponents, teams of that are going to be in the NCAA tournament, um, that helps prepare you because of the challenge of those games. And fortunately in the ACC, we play a lot of NCAA tournament quality teams up and down the schedule. With us getting the double bye to the quarterfinal, chances are you're playing an NCAA tournament team in the quarter. If you're fortunate to win that, you're playing one in the semi. If you're fortunate to win that, you're playing one in the final. So in a short span of time, you're having to play these high level games, and that's exactly what the NCAA tournament is like, although you get the day between in the NCAA tournament, but you're playing hopefully two high-level teams on one weekend. And you're going to have to try to find a way to win those or your season's done. So that's similar to this tournament. If you don't win on Friday night, you go home. And so that type of pressure and that type of high stakes game is important, I think, as you're preparing.
Mike, over to you.
Thanks very much. Hey, Coach. We've talked a couple of times during the year, and you've been quick to point out the good and the bad. As you head to Greensboro, do you like where your team is at? As you've got a couple of days to, before you with the double bye, do you like where your team is at and how they're playing and all the things that you need to be successful in the next week?
Yeah, I think it's really about, having your team play well at the right time, which means having consistency of performance by our team, and that's what we're looking for. We've had games, as everybody does, you have games where certain players play well and certain players don't play well. And we've navigated that and still been able to win a lot of our games. And for us to go 14-4 in this league and finish third, I think says a lot about our ability to navigate, the changing environment of a specific game or of our individual performances. We've had a number of different people step up and lead us in scoring, and we're going to need that depth, to win games in the tournament. So there's always things you'd like to improve on. You'd like to be more efficient offensively. You'd like to take care of the ball. You'd like to, be better on the defensive end. So yeah, we're working on all those things. But for this team, to put together the regular season that they did and put themselves in position to have a double bye, I think just speaks to really just their competitiveness and their ability to buy in and to work hard together.
Marissa, over to you.
Morning, Coach. Hope you're staying dry. Just the team I don't want to say probably play, but probably play is Louisville, the only team you lost to at Cameron this season. Is there any extra motivation with that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really care who we play this time of year, it's just you let the bracket play out. And the one thing I know March does is it never plays out the way people think it's going to. So you just have to focus on yourself, and that's what we're going to do. And then who's ever there in front of us, we're going to look to see if we can put together, a good enough performance to win. We as coaches, we obviously look ahead from a scouting perspective. That's the nature of our job, but we don't really talk about the opponents with our players. Like we won't talk about potentially who we play until that game is over, and then we'll talk with the players about the matchup. And I think that's the way we do it. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but we want to be really focused on ourselves and the areas we need to grow these couple days. And then when they get an opponent in front of us, then we'll work on what we need to do to try and beat them.
Thank you.
Lucy, back to you.
Hi, Coach. How are things differently entering into the tournament and preparing for the tournament with a team that's slightly more experienced this year compared to, for example, the team last year?
I just explained less to them, meaning like about the logistics of it. I felt like I was explaining a lot. Like we're going to go over there, and this is what it's going to be like in the postseason, and this is how we do it, and this is when we watch film, and this is when we do this, when we do that. So I just was explaining a lot of things last year because it was their first time doing it, and this year they know. The other thing that's helpful was when we played in Vegas earlier this year, because it was like NCAA tournament schedule. It was like play one day off, play another day. And no doubt those two teams were NCAA tournament teams, right? Kansas State and Oklahoma have had fantastic years. So schedule wise, we treated it like the NCAA tournament in terms of what we did, our postseason schedule and what they did and how we worked. Everything down to the food, to the recovery, to the film sessions, to the walkthroughs, to the practices. So they've had a taste of that already earlier this year in Vegas, in terms of how the schedule goes. And so we made sure we did that this year. So now that, they've already had one rep of that, and then obviously they'll get another rep of it in ACC tournament, and then third time hopefully is the charm in the NCAA tournament for us.